What's going on, everyone? It's your man John Resurrection, and we are selling cars like candy bars. Welcome back to another confessional number 16. And 16 is going to be all about exposing your truth, from being the new dog in town to being the old dog and veteran in the game, and how we can actually maximize as much value as possible. So before we do that, let's see how my week ended up being exposing my truth. Roll it.
At Nissan of Tustin, we know you're ready to get outside and make the most of the Orange County lifestyle. So we've stocked up on the best cars to help you find the best route to your next adventure.
The good old marketing strategy of cars and dogs, and how dogs sell cars. Look, when you got a dope looking dog like that by the name of Hazel, you might as well utilize the dog and the cars around it. So thank you, Tustin and Nissan, for allowing myself and my brother Irving Resurrection for actually doing the behind the scenes of the commercials they were actually creating for their dealership. See, currently right now a lot of dealerships are focusing on the message of getting out there, having the journey, making sure that you are getting out there and exploring. And that leads me to this concept of exposing one's truth. And that's one of the biggest things that, when especially getting into the game of creating content for yourself as an individual, for a business or a dealership, it's about the story, it's about the journey. We're going to talk about some of those things and how we can maximize, especially from the newer individuals that are getting into the content game, and for the old dogs that they know so much but would love for you to start sharing more of your experience, so many people from just getting into the game to myself and other people that are willing to learn, that you spread that advice out, that wisdom that you have in the experience and lessons that you can share, so we can all grow in our community in the automotive world. Now, when just starting out in the content game, especially if you are newer, and we're going to focus on the newer opposed to the old dogs when it comes to this piece of content for the confessionals. And a lot of it has to do because of the mass amount of messages coming from GMs and newer people, like, well, how do I get my guy to start creating content, especially if he doesn't have a lot of experience in the field that he is in. I could give what I have learned as far as creating a name for myself, my brand, my slogan, where I would always say, keep selling cars like candy bars. And it got to the point where a lot of people know me as that. And a lot of it has to do with, one, is staying consistent in what I am putting out there, making sure that people know that that's who I am, that's what I say, and this is what I'm about. But a lot of it has to do with, when you're just starting into the game, there's a couple of components that I would want you guys to apply, and that you can apply today, to where you can really grow your presence on any type of platform, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it may be. You can grow your audience as long as you apply these 4 things when it comes down creating content for yourself. Understand who you are. And that's usually the biggest mistake for newcomers that are trying to get into the content game. They want to mimic other people that they inspire to, like a Gary Vaynerchuk, a Tony Robbins, a Grant Cardone. And because of that, their messages is exactly what these guys are saying, but they're trying to do it in their own way. Now, that's cool and all, but at a certain point, don't expect the same results that they're getting to what you are getting. And the reason being is they lived it. They've learned from it. They've lost from it. They won from it. And from you, just coming into the game, you haven't experienced those things. Hence the reason why when you do say those things, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the veterans in the game will never follow the content that you're actually putting out. The things that they probably will start to listen to and follow is probably your journey. Talk more about your journey. Understand that your journey and your story is what makes you unique. It's what makes you different. It is what brings value to other people, that understanding that you're going through these steps to get to that level. And that's what it takes in order to understand who you are as an individual. Collaborate. Collaboration is one of those things that a lot of people still don't utilize. When I first got into the content game, I did not collaborate. I didn't reach out because I felt that I could do it on my own. I felt that I knew all the answers to every single question that was out there, but I was absolutely wrong. The second I started to collaborate with a lot of different people and a lot of different perspectives and views, I started to see the audience start growing. I started to see the value that I was giving out was more relevant. It was had more substance, because it was not just my perspective, it was someone else's perspective as well. Compete. Knowing that every month or every day or every time you are trying to create content, you're always trying to do better every single time. The second that you become stagnant in the game is the second that you start losing the urge to consume your content from your audience. The second you start changing it up and you started adding more elements to your content is where people start seeing the journey and the growth of how you're creating content. But two, it allows people to understand that you are doing everything you can to grow and stay relevant in the game. Stay committed. Stay committed and stay focused on what you are planning out. Plan your work and work your plan is really what it comes down to. And a lot of the things that you are learning and you are consuming, make sure you are actually applying these things. That's always the problem. I can give as much advice, or I can give you all the things that I have misstepped in my career in the automotive world, but the problem with a lot of people that are consuming my content, they're not applying any of them. And if they do apply them, they give up after a couple of days because they quote unquote say it's too hard. Of course it's gonna be hard. It's never easy. Anything good in life takes time, effort, and work in order to be successful. For today's confessional, I leave you with this. Surprise! I don't know everything about social media. I don't know everything about content creation. I don't know everything about the auto industry. I don't know about every vehicle that's out there. I don't know everything about digital marketing. I don't know everything about a lot of things. But what I do know is this, is that a lot of the value and things that I'm bringing to you was learned from the experience of the old dogs. Which leads me to the old dogs. Please, I beg every old dog that's out there to pick up a camera, pick up your phone, create some content, and share the wisdom and the lessons that you have learned along the way. I, like some of the younger generation, feed off of what you guys are telling us. I learned the things that you have been through. I've learned the lessons, what it used to be, where it can be, where it needs to be. And I try to do on my own is apply those lessons, put my own spin on the things, and try to make the world a better place. There's a lot of guys out there that are right now currently putting out content that are speakers or authorities in the field that are doing this, and it's because we want the automotive world to be better. We want to build better people. This is why I constantly try to bring as much value as possible. So I encourage all the old dogs out there, your CEOs, your GMs, the people that are in the authority levels in their respective industry, to please create content. If it's not a video, put out a post of a written post of or an article that shares some lessons that we as a younger generation can learn from and grow from. I, at 38, have learned so much because I've had great mentors and still continue to surround myself with great mentors, which allows me to bring as much value. So if you want this auto industry, if you want your dealership, your team to win, put out the knowledge that they need. Some might not like it, but there might be that one Filipino kid at the age of 20 that just gets into the car business. Here's something that you had to do on a pump session on a Friday, and knows and understands that this is the place I need to be, and I'm going to do everything I can to grow and make a difference for another family looking for a car. If you guys are out there, you still can't figure out the solution, let MXS Solutions figure it out. But like always, for the newcomers and the old dogs, keep selling cars like candy bars. Late.